Alright, let's get out of here. Got a few quests underway here at Rivet City. Wanted to come down here up to this point, grab the intelligence bobblehead. And now I'm going to head back in the general direction of Megaton, and we're going to grab the luck bobblehead on the way back there. Right here, at some point you're going to get ambushed by this lady who's working for a Free the Slaves type organization. Here she is, right here,
You've
actually.
been rather busy lately, asking questions, investigating. So is that it? You're some kind of investigator? A detective for hire? Or do you have some kind of personal grudge against an innocent android who simply wants to be left alone? Please tell me. I'd really like to know.
Okay, then.
Well, if that's true, then the first thing you need to do is halt your investigation. No more questions. No more searching. The movement I'm involved with, we help his kind escape their Commonwealth-imposed slavery. We help them disappear. You understand? You really want help? Take this. It's an internal component from the very android you're searching for. Don't ask how I obtained it. Present it to Dr. Zimmer in Rivet City. Tell him the android is dead and that was on the corpse. He'll believe you. Do that and Zimmer will go back to the Commonwealth and leave that poor soul alone. Do that and you'll have saved a man's life. Just understand that this android is now, for all intents and purposes, a man. He looks human, he acts human, he believes he is human. But even if he's not, even if he's a machine, he's capable of rational thought and emotion. So you see, his soul is as human as yours or mine. This person, and he is a person, deserves a chance at freedom. Please, if there's a shred of decency in you, don't take that away from him. We call ourselves the Railroad. Our mission is the rescue and salvation of synthetic humanoids. Androids, as they're more commonly known. Yes, if we are able, but there are others in the Wasteland who assist in the plight of human slaves. Our android brethren have only us. Tell you what, you deliver that component to Zimmer and tell him the android is dead, and you can consider yourself a member in good standing. You know what you need to do.
Okay, actually, that's probably not going to happen. At least not like that. I have plans for this particular android. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get both rewards. There is a reward once you find A321 if you help him. All right, but there's also a reward from Zimmer, and there's a way to get them both. And, of course, you know, that's what I'm going to do. Instead of doing the right thing, I'm going to do the loot thing. You know what I'm saying? Here's the first of our roving traders.
Sir or madam, to Crazy Wolfgang's traveling junk store, the depot of detritus, the shop of slop, and the caravan of crap. Now, what odds and ends can I, the craziest of all possible Wolfgangs, offer to you? I scour the wasteland for the very best pieces of trash, the height of detritus, and the veritable pick of the litter. It's all valuable to someone. And I always make sure to make my rounds through Canterbury Commons. Their mayor, Rowe, always has a place for a clever junk man like myself. Good luck out there, and maybe next time you'll find something interesting for me, huh?
All right, now that map marker at Canterbury Commons, not only does it have probably the funniest side quest in the game, we'll hear about that. If we had old Three Dogs Radio up right now, Galaxy News Radio, we would hear rumors of something going down in Canterbury Commons. It's really funny. We're going to have to stop through there. You go there, and what you can do is you can invest with Uncle Rowe. I think it takes a couple speech checks, but we should have the Black Widow perk, and I believe that improves some dialogue options in a couple key situations. That may be one of them. Anyway, regardless, if you talk him into it, Rowe will let you invest, and he'll basically organize these roving traders, and you're going to have to sink, I don't know, 9, 10, 12,000 caps, or maybe even more, into all the traders. But once you get them all upgraded, Not only does it vastly increase the inventory that they carry, some more rare items like the gun dealer will start running around with sniper rifles and sniper ammo, a lot more of it. But all their repair skills go up into the 90+%, so that means they can basically fully repair any item you give them. It'll be kind of expensive, but by that time, you're going to have a lot of caps anyway. But it also gives them more caps to spend, which means that when you get loaded up with, say, like 15 plasma rifles that are all worth, I don't know, anywhere from 500 to 1,000 caps a piece or something, you'll have people to sell them to. You can sell a bunch to one of the traders, and you can hang out there in Canterbury Commons, and you can use the back button and just wait for a few hours or a day, and then another trader will pop up at a particular spot they have there. That's kind of like their resting spot. So you can catch them all coming through there. Each one has his own route. All right, but they will all stop in Canterbury Commons, kind of in order. Not necessarily. Sometimes the same trader will make the same appearance, 2 or 3 times in a row. But whatever the case may be, they'll all be there. And after 2 or 3 in-game days, they will re-up their caps and their inventory and stuff like that. And so if you're looking for a particular kind of ammo, or you just need to unload a bunch of junk, you have a really high carry weight, and you have a lot of really expensive gear to sell, like I say, a whole crap ton of plasma stuff or something like that, then you can do that. And it's really worth investing in them for lots of different reasons. But that kind of unlocks the spot on the map. I already know where it is. It's about halfway up the right side of the map, the east side of the map. Not too far from a vault, and just south of where you get the perception bobblehead, as a matter of fact. So we'll be heading that direction anyway. Like I said, I'm going to want all the bobbleheads I can find. Okay, now this Wasteland captive,
Please, someone. Mike, thank you. Thank you so much. I thought I was dead for sure. Here, I managed to hide these supplies before they tied me up. You take them. It's the best I can do to thank you. Okay, if you say so. I can't thank you enough, stranger.
Okay, there's going to be several of these throughout the Wasteland. They're a quick karma boost, if you want that. Now, even though my character's going to be scandalous raider trash, okay, one thing I just can't do is leave a captive to her fate, much less take their stuff. And I know that's it's kind of a paradox. Anyway, whatever. Don't judge me. I know I'm supposed to be a wicked evil character, and I eventually will be, but there's even I have my standards. Certain things I won't do. Oh, and by the way, anytime you release a captive, if you want to find something to kill, just follow them, because they don't just run to trouble, they sprint towards it. They go find the nearest enemy and try to get themselves killed. I don't know why they do that, but they've never failed to make a beeline towards the closest enemy on the map. So usually you can release them and then just follow them. And sometimes it's hard to catch up, actually. They will literally sprint towards the closest enemy they can find. I've never seen a case where you will see them later. Okay, I just blew both my arms off, asshole. Alright. First look at super mutants. They'll always be guarding this ramp here leading to the Jefferson Memorial there. Good thing is, once you get these guys out of the way, they'll never come back. So I might as well fight a few of them off. Where'd he go? There he is. I love the way they did these guys. Okay, I was hoping to be able to kill him before I had to heal up. Damn. It's not so much that they have a lot of health, it's just I have very little in the way of gun skills. Alright, so let me go ahead and quick fix my limbs here. Oh, by the way, Fallout 4 has now been officially announced. It was well, essentially yesterday morning now. As I'm sitting here editing this, it's kind of morning again, but yeah, we all waited up for hours and watched this countdown timer to their trailer, and the trailer seems to reveal a decent bit about the game. One viewer did point out that GNN can be seen, and those letters, I can't think of anything other than Galaxy News Radio that they could, or News Network or whatever. Maybe it was GNN and not GNR. I don't know. Galaxy News Network, Galaxy News. Oh, well, no, second thought, because I think Galaxy News Radio's GNR. So GNN, or maybe it did say GNR. I don't know. I remember GN on one of the little. It's like a poster or a sign on the side of a building. Anyway, they give lots of little snips, really short film clips of, I guess, in-game footage, showing maybe a couple of the enemies. I did see a little cameo by Deathclaw there. I saw something new that looked kind of like a sand beetle. Maybe Fallout is going to have its own version of mud crabs. That'd be awesome. It'd be classic. Vertibirds. I love vertibirds for some reason. I guess they just remind me of this game. The appearance of the vertibirds and the Enclave coming in to make their presence known and all that. I noticed there were some Brotherhood of Steel types that appeared to be using them, though, and not sure what all that's about. Wish I knew more about the lore. I'm wondering if the Enclave is kind of not an offshoot necessarily of the Brotherhood of Steel, but they're, they always struck me as a new government, a new government coming up. Now, I'm sure if I had a lot more experience with, say, Fallout 1 and 2, I would have much more background, at least as far as the West Coast Enclave goes. Now, I noticed there's differences in the way they operate between East and West Coast and in between various factions of the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm assuming maybe the Enclave is the same way. President Eden and that whole thing will pop up here in Fallout 3. I wonder if they aren't so far removed when, once you get to Fallout 4. And I'm also kind of wondering when it takes place. Because if there's a Galaxy News Network or Galaxy News Radio or whatever, if there's something like that, then I'm wondering if Fallout 4 takes place just prior to Fallout 3. It is possible to lose Three Dog in the game. I think you can actually personally kill him if you want to, just like just about any other NPC in the game. And it would be hard for them to explain that, to the player if you've gotten rid of somebody, and then in a later game, I know this has popped up with other games where decisions are made, and then a person who's supposed to be gone is alive again, or vice versa. Person who's supposed to be alive comes across as dead no matter what. Well, that's a little easier to explain. You can kill off anybody in a game, but it's kind of a farther step to bring them back to life. So I don't know. I'm kind of wondering the little shots that they showed of just pre-war and then people trying to get into a vault, and it appears to have something to do with the main character. I don't know how all that plays out, but is it possible that the game centers around events just leading up to it, and then just after the bombs fall? Although, from other shots, it looks like a pretty well-developed post-apocalyptic world that they have there. Not necessarily something set up on the fly, but set up from the ruins, like Megaton here in Fallout 3, which we will be seeing right here at the end of this video. I got help. Oh, Wolfgang followed me over here. That was nice of him. All right, well, thanks for the help, dude. Saved me some ammo. But anyway, just speculation stuff. I mean, they gave the trailer for a reason, and they gave little snippets in there. In fact, Pete Hines, he even got on Twitter and he was like, "I'm not answering questions. Watch the trailer. Dissect it for yourself." That's basically what he said, and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So they threw everything they want us to know in there, at least up until E3, which is, it's only a couple weeks away now. I mean, we're looking at it just around the corner. And they'll go more in depth. I'm sure they'll give some gameplay, like they did with Oblivion, and then like they did with Skyrim. And I don't remember the reveal and press conference for Fallout 3. I didn't keep up with that, but I did see Oblivion and Skyrim ones, and they did cover some of their new ideas and directions they were heading with the game. Like with Skyrim, they were really big on discussing the dual wielding aspect and all that, and how that played in. And ironically, that's one of my favorite styles to play in the game. So I guess that's their. That was a good move. Anyway, whatever new mechanics or ideas that they're going to try to introduce to the player in the game, they'll usually cover that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see what new things they're going to bring in as far as how they're going to do their leveling system and stuff. I did see a Pip-Boy on the arm of what I presume to be the main character, or a character in the game. I did see that. One thing I wasn't able to see in the video were Pip-Boys on everyone else. Like, they showed something that looked like, a pretty populated town. I think it was called Diamond City or something. You could see on a sign, but reminded me of Megaton, right? But I didn't see Pip-Boys on the arms of the people there. It was kind of hard to notice from a distance.
Wanderer all the way out here in Williams Wharf. You must got some important business out here to be wandering around. But tain't none of my beeswax what you're doing. But if you're interested in trading, maybe we can help each other. My boys are hunting lurks. Finest meat you could get, but he don't move around in your stomach like mole rat does. Right dangerous, those things. Just as soon take your head off as look at you. Watch yourself out here. They're all over. Some fellas came out here a while ago that said they was looking for some do-gooder that came out from one of them vaults. I told them I ain't seen nobody like that and sent them on their way. They might still be around here, though, if you think you can help them. We always need bullets. Takes damn near 100 of them to kill a gwai.
All right, well, somebody looking for a do-gooder, huh? That has kind of a menacing tone to it. All right, so I already got people looking for me. Somehow, for some reason. Wonder if the Overseer has something to do with that. Back in the vault? Who knows? All right, now notice, after I took care of those mutants and stuff, I did stop by a little boat that's out there in the water. It's a nice little med ammo stash. Good for a little XP. The reason I didn't get it coming in is I didn't want to level before I got to Rivet City. Because each point of intelligence you have dictates how many skill points you get when you level up. So I didn't really too much care, but just for the sake of those who would like to maximize their points and stuff that they get in the game, well, I just, did that for you guys' sake, really. Like I say, one skill point didn't really matter one way or another to me, but taking advantage of a way to get to Rivet City before you even level again. You have to level coming out of the vault. That's unavoidable. They're going to give you enough XP to level, even if you avoid all XP gain within the vault before leaving. You can try to be as clever as you want. They're still going to give you enough to level getting out. I don't know of any way to avoid that, legitimately, anyway. That mine is almost always glitched into the ground, or just under the surface or something. I'm never able to deactivate that one. I wonder if you can actually see it from, like, under the bridge. I wonder. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. Anyway, got some points for those other ones. The most important part is I can sell these. And it's like a dozen mines right there. They're probably worth, well, at least 10 caps apiece, I would hope. Maybe more. Okay, so the reason I did discover this one spot while I was swimming down the river, this Wilhelm's Wharf or whatever it's called, the old Grandma Sparkle there, was so that I'd have a place to fast travel back to from Rivet City, save a little time. Okay, and notice it's right next to this little subway entrance here. And for those of you that are a bit claustrophobic or whatever, or easily creeped out, then the subways with their ominous tone that travels through them, right? And the dark, rotted, dank, collapsed, ruined feel that they have to, I don't know. I think it's awesome. Of course, I like horror movies, so there you have it. But, this probably isn't your favorite part of the game. I've actually in some of the like groups that I'm in and stuff where we discuss Fallout things and games in general, heard a lot of players mention that the one thing they didn't like about Fallout 3 was the kind of the claustrophobic feel of the tunnels and so on and so forth. And that was by design. And I hope that's something they bring back in Fallout 4 to a greater extent with a lot more detail and the graphics and all this and that. And different stuff. The underground communities, you know, little factions, gangs. We'll even meet an underground gang in this one. And one of my favorite parts of the game, where maybe it's not mandatory, you know, but at least optional places to go, but extensive subway and railway systems. I'm hoping they have something like that. Even above ground train stations, leading to underground train stations. I'm totally cool with all that. I hope that is something they bring back, because that was, that's just something that I associate with Fallout 3, and, you know, right off the top. You mention subways, Fallout 3, first thing that comes to mind, seriously. Seems like you need to navigate a subway to get to all the key elements of the game, you know. There's some of it's avoidable. You can take the long way around above ground, pretty much, or take little short stints to the subway and avoid a lot of it. You really can. But if you take the, I'm not going to say suggested path, but like going from GNR, which we will much later, through the long, extensive series of subways to get to the mall, where you go to do what Three Dog wants you to do. That's a pretty good trek. That's like a quest in and of itself, you know. That's one of my fondest early memories of the game, so there you have it. I can honestly say there's probably not a side quest or quest in this game that I necessarily dread doing. No, I take that back. There's one. Maura Brown is going to ask us to go to this robot facility, and it's a little annoying. It's a little tedious. Hey, like that. Critical headshot. Take that. And that's it's not bad, but it's kind of a long ways away. You got to do some trekking. There's really no quick way to get there. And then once you're there, you got to do some nosing around, and there's going to be some skill books there, which is great, but you have to go floor to floor, room to room, looking for them and stuff, and the place is infested with creatures, and I don't know. Anyway, a little bit annoying, but I can deal with it. Definitely deal with it. All right, so this is the quickest way I know to get here from that subway right there next to Willem's Wharf. This is Arlington Cemetery, and well, anyone who knows about this is all the, you know, soldiers and stuff. Need to rest here and put it just a little bit of a serious tone in the game, I guess you could say. Notice the solemn, respectful, what would you say, cadence type music going on in the background while you're here. All right. First raiders we've really run across. I'm going to avail myself of their armor as soon as I can take them out. Assuming I can take them out. Backing me into a corner with a damn sledgehammer. Get off me. Wow, okay. Bitch has some health. Yeah, I'm just taking it like a champ. There we go. 45. Okay, a lot of times if you don't get, like, say 15 or 20 or 10 points or something for a raider, then they're like a lieutenant level raider or something. I've noticed some of them will have an extensive health bar. It'll appear normal until you start actually shooting them, and sometimes they'll take 5 bullets to the face to lose 1 sliver of health, and you're like, holy crap. It's like their armor rating's through the roof, and they have an extremely high health bar. But a lot of times they tend to carry good stuff. The psycho tick or the psychotic helmet, awesome. It actually looks really cool. I almost consider wearing one, but I've already decided no headgear. We're just going for, yeah, take that. Now see, 15 points for her. It's much easier to kill. Much, much easier to kill. Like with the super mutants, you have mutants, and then you may have super mutant masters. You know, which will have a lot more. And then you have the new version that they came out with when they released Broken Steel. And it's, I can't remember their name. They almost always carry a tri-beam laser rifle. They can two-shot you on very hard, by the way. Sometimes one-shot you. They hit you with a critical, they're going to one-shot you. But if they can almost always two-shot you. Really, really nasty. What are those things called? Overlords. There we go. Overlords. Super mutant overlords. And they have the health of a Reaver or an albino rad scorpion, which are pretty nasty in and of themselves. The albino rad scorpions don't hit a whole lot harder than your typical giant rad scorpion, They don't seem to. I don't notice that they're really necessarily any faster or more aggressive or whatever, but you just have to wail on them for like an hour. They have the health pool of a Reaver or whatever. And the Reavers, they do hit hard, and they throw radioactive poo balls at you. That's what I call them. Kind of looks like they dig them out of their butt and then chunk them at your face, and radioactive poo. Yeah, it's not cool. And yeah, those things hurt too. So anyway, they're nasty pieces of work. It's nice to have a follower along to kind of draw their attention, to tank for you, in a sense. Dogmeat is like the ultimate tank. We'll pick him up eventually, just to have him around. Whether he's necessary or not is irrelevant. They offer a dog in the game, I'm going to take it. Because Dogmeat's absolutely the best. He just wants to hang, he just wants to ride along. Come what may, he just wants to be there, and totally cool with that. Alright, so again, that's where our luck bobblehead is, but I want to look through the rest of this place. There should be some skill books and stuff here. At least one. Seems like I always get a weapon out of that cabinet, so maybe like a set thing. Although sometimes it's sometimes you get really lucky and get like a 10mm submachine gun stuff. Which I really like the way those look. I think they're cool. Alright, so big book of science. Definitely take that. Give me free skill points. I will take them. Alright, look for medicine chests. First aid boxes, whatever you want to call them. One of the first missions we'll go on for Moira Brown once we get to Megaton will be to Minefield, and there are several houses just like this. Even complete with the safes and everything. I believe there's a safe here. Kind of looking around for it, you'll see them. Sometimes you'll just see the corner peeking out from under a bed, sometimes behind a cabinet. Cabinet make it a little obvious, like this one right here. See? It's kind of away from the wall. Kind of cornered off there. Anyway, it gives you a peek behind it so you can... oh, wow, that was horrible. Check the safe. There we go. Pretty much loot everything, sell everything right now. Take everything to Megaton with me that I can carry, because sell it all off once I talk to Moira. We already have some radioactivity also. We're going to want that later. We're going to need to become intensely radioactive. Okay, now here's a shrine to Lincoln. There's a group of Free the Slaves guys that worship Abraham Lincoln, essentially. Not exactly like the railroad, but she did kind of make a mention of them, that Victoria Watts lady. And it's another group that's kind of like that. There's a big, long quest involved with them, too. It's not mandatory. I don't even know if I'll necessarily do it, because it requires a lot of legwork. But there's some profit to be made. The guy looks for any kind of Lincoln artifacts, and there's one particular place you can go and find a few of those. You can sell them off to him, but they're also good for keepsakes to keep in your house if you want to. All right, there we go. Level again. Okay, now you'll notice I'm inching my lockpick and science up. Okay, I'm going to want those to be in the 50 to 75 range when we get to the pit. We're going to level a few more times before we get there. It depends on how much we do of the Wasteland survival guide and stuff. We could essentially make a beeline for it now. I mean, we could go anytime we want, really. I mean, DLC's active. I would like to get to Megaton, at least get a house, have a place to store stuff, and all that kind of good stuff. I wonder if explosives isn't such a bad idea. I don't know. I need repair, too. I'm trying to remember what it takes to defuse the bomb in Megaton. I don't remember if it takes 2 different skills or... don't really remember. Yeah, screw it. We'll go with that right there. Okay, now this is why I put my intelligence at 3, because I knew I'd be getting it to 4 with the intelligence bobblehead, and there you have it, entomologist. That's what I was going for. That's extra damage towards mutated insects. And that's just a constant damage buff. And so I always take perks like that. Constant damage resistance, constant damage buffs against particular kinds of enemies, or just in general, extra critical chance, extra just whatever. Extra critical damage. Better criticals is probably my absolute favorite perk. It makes such a huge difference, especially if you're pulling off more criticals, which there's something to be said for having a couple extra points of luck. Something to be said for that. The more criticals you can pull off, and the more damage you can pull off with each one when you hit them, the better you're doing. Now there is gear that is geared specifically, certain kinds of weapons and armor and stuff towards critical chance and critical damage and stuff. I'm going with the small guns that I like. I'm going to go with the infiltrator just because I love it. It's, like I say, a way to kind of aim down the sights in Fallout 3. One of my absolute faves. I was crushed when they didn't have it in New Vegas. And you can even see one on the wall of Mick and Ralph's in their little special weapons room. You just can't have it. Thought that was kind of bullshit. I'll probably run around with, have my typical 10mm, have a combat shotgun. We'll eventually get the terrible shotgun. Just kind of an upgraded version of it. I think each weapon has an upgraded version. Like you have Chinese assault rifles, which we could get about a dozen of them right here in this food factory. We get in there and there's going to be these Chinese ghouls. In this place, it's got its own little story. Apparently this was one of the last communist Chinese spy holdouts here or something. And they were responsible for packaging our food up until the war started or something like that. Anyway. Okay, now this is always here. This book on trading. All right, once again, free skill points. Place to discover. Alright, that's good enough for me. I think we can get out of here. We'll head back to Vault 101, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Megaton. And just make our way there from here. We can also go down here into this little town. I think it's called Springvale, but this is normally one of the first places you rummage through. You start the game. It's like, kind of just right here. There'll be a few locks here. There'll be some stuff to see. There's even a schoolhouse here, which we will visit eventually. There should be quite a few raiders in there. Right offhand, I can think it's got its own little side quest there. There'll be some skill books and things of that nature to find there. And this is, of course, all stuff that we can go sell also. As soon as we get to Megaton. I'm trying to think offhand just how many times I've actually just done this. Just rummage through this little town right here before heading off to go talk to Maura Brown. And that's just, wow. I guess it just doesn't get old. I guess not. Some games are just like that. I had strongly considered running around in the Merc outfit that I like to wear in New Vegas. Also, I think it's the Charmer outfit. I think is what it's called. But no, we're just gonna go straight Raider. I don't know, I'm not into pure role-playing like some people are. They actually make their game where they set a backstory for their character and they stick to it through the game, which is a cool idea, actually. A lot of fun factor in that, but I've never been that serious about it because I'll get off in the middle of just, doing whatever I do in a game. I wind up getting away from that real quick, to tell you the truth. But I do have kind of a persona for my character. I'll be true to it most of the time, although there would be certain times where I just cannot bring myself to do certain things. I just won't. I can try to be all evil and dastardly that I want, and then, but I'll see some little kid sitting over there who dropped his his candy in the dirt, and I'll brush it off for him and make him all feel better and everything. And yeah, that's not the hardcore criminal persona that I'm portraying at all. Yeah. Oh well. Whatever. Don't judge me. Right there they are. I was gonna say there's some dumpsters here. Sometimes I find some pretty good stuff in one or both of them. Nothing in that. And too dark. Okay, well, whatever. And they don't weigh anything, and you can sell them, even if it's just a cap a piece. Doesn't matter. It's free money. Give me that. Okay, one more thing I'll do before I head out. Let's go in here, and there is some backstory here. I don't know if I've never gone to Megaton first and then come back here later. But this girl apparently knows Moriarty.
Where'd you come from? Did Moriarty send you? Colin Moriarty, the owner of Moriarty's Saloon in Megaton. That sack of shit is convinced that I'm some crazy junkie who stole money from him. I'm tired of hiding out here like some kind of wasteland dog. I guess you're right. Here, this is all I have. Please leave me alone now.
Okay, and apparently she is some crazy junkie who stole Caps Moriarty, but, you know, good for her, because Moriarty's a real piece of crap. We'll find that out when we get to town. He owns the saloon in Megaton, and he'll be a key to us continuing on our quest to go find Dad, wherever he left. Now, if you kill her, once you talk her out of those caps, if you kill her, you can get like 100 more or something off her body, or 300 more or something like that. Right. But you can't pickpocket it, but you see Psycho and stuff like that everywhere. Okay, so she is a junkie. On the radio there, you hear President Eaton, the voice representing the Conclave, coming over the radio. The other radio station is, of course, Galaxy News Radio, Three Dogs little network, and the reason you won't hear me playing that is because I don't have rights to any of the music. They're actual real songs that they play on that radio, and they can potentially even take down my videos for that. If not, they can hold them hostage type of thing, and I just to avoid that, you know, if you know they're touchy about that, you don't poke an angry dog with a stick type of thing. If they're already snarling their teeth at people using stuff that's not theirs, which I don't own those songs. I don't. I don't have rights to those songs. I have a right to play the game the way I play it. It's kind of like an empty canvas. The way you play a game is kind of like painting on a blank canvas. What I do with the game that they gave me and sharing that gameplay, that's kind of my own thing. I don't own the game in any way, shape, or form. This is Bethesda's game, but how I play it and what I do with it, I pass that along to you guys. Not necessarily tutorial necessarily, but it is, sharing gameplay and stuff, and they will, they're lax about that, and I appreciate them letting me use their game for that. I appreciate them making this game, period, because it's one of the best games ever made. But the music inside, honestly, even if Bethesda said, hey, yeah, you can not only use the music, you can have it type of thing. It's not theirs to give. Believe it or not, the original artists or the record companies that own those songs, it's theirs. They hold the licenses for that. They decide who can and can't use it, and I don't have any kind of special permission from all the people involved to use music that's, 100 years old, or something. That's just...
Maybe next time,
anyway.
you'll find something interesting for me, huh?
Crazy Wolfgang, fancy meeting you here. All right, but anyway, so that's why you don't hear me playing the radio. I don't have the rights to their to those songs, and it's possible they may overlook it. They may just attach the songs to the title and realize that it's just part of the ambient sound in the game and let it go. But for some reason I don't think so. I got in 1 or 2 issues with that in New Vegas just from the radio being on in the background when I walk into a bar or something. So. I imagine it'll be a problem here, too.
James Lucas Sims, town sheriff, and mayor, too, when the need arises. I don't know why, but I like you, girl. Something tells me you're all right. So welcome to Megaton. Just holla if you need something.
I think if you come in with negative karma, he talks to you differently, I think.
Friendly and well-mannered. I think we're gonna get along just fine. You treat my people nice, and you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, you seen my dad?
Mind your...
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a save here, and I'm going to grab his key. This is a way to get into his house, which is right there to the right, that first house you see on the right. So we need to go ahead and grab this. Like I said, you want to save, because if you get caught, he takes it back, and you don't get a second chance to get it, I don't believe. Anyway, save again, and there's a really low percentage chance on a speech check here.
Nope, sorry. I got enough fires to put out in this place that I don't have time to keep tabs on every visitor. I'd ask around town. What about it? I don't trust any of the locals to tinker with it. Besides, most people don't even realize it's still a threat. And hell, Cromwell and those crazies from the Church of Adam, they worship the damn thing. Why? Do you think you got the know-how to disarm it? For good? Oh, all right. Fine. But listen here. Just take a look at it first. Go easy. If you get the job done, there'll be 100 caps in it for you.
Yeah.
Staying out of trouble.
Try that again.
That's pretty steep.
There we go. Ta-da!
Do it and you'll get your money. Don't screw up, though, or we'll all regret it.
Okay, that was the last of about 50 attempts to get that speech check.
I do remember a stranger coming through here. Had a look in his eye. You know the kind a man gets when he's got a purpose. Spent some time up in the saloon. Might want to check with Moriarty. Just watch yourself. That man's trouble. It's called the Wasteland for a reason. But there are settlements too, spread all around. The human race is stubborn like that. To the south, you've got Rivet City. But don't bother going to D.C. The place is a war zone. Good luck. Careful around that bomb.
All right. Now, I'm going to run over here, and this is where we get our strength bobblehead. Okay, now, let's say you choose not to disarm the bomb, which I'm going to do, because the house here is much more convenient than the only other housing option that I know of in the game. At a place called Tenpenny Tower. I don't take that because it's so many loading screens to get in and out. It's a little bit quote-unquote nicer, but you have to be an actual real evil piece of crap. Plus, there's a lot of things I want to do here in Megaton anyway, and there's things you can do at Tenpenny Tower regardless. So, anyway, not missing anything by not setting off the bomb here in Megaton. It's something I'm not going to do. It's not even a good or evil choice, although it really kind of messed up doing that. It's not an issue of that, it's more an issue of convenience in the game. And I like my old Megaton house. It makes me feel like I'm in a post-nuclear shack, and we'll see when we get it. Probably in the next video or two. Alright, thanks for watching. You want to subscribe? Click that button up top. Alright, and for the rest of this Let's Play, click that image there in the middle, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.